So I cordially invite everyone, like welcome everyone who are participating in this webinar and also in the program to IGBC Green Your School program, which is the 19th edition, which has been launched on the World Environmental Day on June 5th June 5th evening, and we are very happy to announce regarding the webinar series also, which had helped in the previous year to many participant schools, and it had encouraged them to come up with many new ideas. So with that encouragement, even we thought we will add more webinars this year with new topics every fortnight. And I request all the participants to kindly mute yourself. I request all the participants to kindly mute yourself. Yeah. So the IGBC Green Your School program 2025 this year, this 19th edition, has been launched, which is supported by Carrier. It is launched by IGBC, it is supported by Carrier, and the supporting association is United Way of Delhi, where the coordinator, Ms. Zoya Khan, is also part of this, and she's also part of the webinar, and she will be explaining about the program joining registration and other details she'll be helping you out with. And this year, in this particular webinar, we are starting with one winner school of IGPC Green Your School program 2024. Miss Meena Rawat will be giving the presentation from the winner school, from Nalanda Public School in Mumbai. So it stood as one of the top three schools in the last year's program. And thank you so much, Ms. Meena Rawat, for accepting our invitation and giving your insights and your thoughts on how you had come up with the ideas to the participant schools this year. Thank you so much. And with this thing, we'll just start the webinar this today. So before jumping into the topic, I thought we'll give an introduction about what our organization does and what kind of initiatives we have actually worked all these years, particularly with schools, helping them to grow towards green and sustainable implementations and towards a sustainability. So we at IGBC, Indian Green Building Council, is the founding member of World Green Building Council since 2004, and it is the India's only council, and it has developed around 32 rating systems in various segments, that is like net zero, commercial, residential, transit, built environment, education, industrial, and health and well-being. So within that, even the schools are part of IGBC Green Schools, is also part of one of the rating systems of out of all these 33. The main idea is to impart, like, to encourage places where we stay, live, learn, work, play, transit, and even worship should go green. And coming to the green building movement in India, in this the right now in the office where right now I'm sitting, this particular building started as first green building with 20,000 square feet in 2001, and it has encouraged many such green buildings to implement all the measures that the rating systems had imparted. And today we have crossed about 15,000 plus green building projects which were certified by IGBC, and 14 plus billion square feet has been turned green through our implementations. So apart from that IGBC Green School programs, like there are many, apart from the rating systems, there are many green school initiatives that we have actually encouraged the students to come up with various activities like painting competition, quizzes, art making, and coming up with voluntary activities, and coming up with science exhibitions. And we guided and incorporated the thought of sustainability at a very young age to more than nearly 500 plus schools who had participated in all these activities. So apart from that, as a continuation to all these activities, we also conducted many awareness programs, education and training programs, and implementation of green measures, green features through the rating system. So we have done a lot of research and lot of activities that had helped the education system or the institutions or the schools to go green by encouraging each and every kid and the teacher. So coming to the 19th edition of IGBC Green New School Program 2025, this year we came up with the theme Energize with Care and Protect What's Rare. So this idea is basically to encourage the students to explore how their choices affect forests and wildlife, and emphasizes the importance of conservational practices to reduce those impacts. So it is not just they come up with newer energy ideas, newer ideas that can lead towards a sustainability, but it also, this time the students also have to keep in mind how their choices actually affect the wildlife, the flora, fauna, and the biodiversity itself. So the theme encourages a sense of responsibility towards energy conservation and biodiversity protection. So it's not just energy conservation, but also biodiversity protection, which should go hand in hand and should create an equal balance in the ecosystem. And it directly complements IGPC goals of promoting sustainability, eco-conscious behavior, and green infrastructure in schools. So, and the theme Energize with Care and Protect What's Rare. This emphasizes the message into daily school life through the IGBC framework one can cultivate. And the students can actually cultivate or develop eco-literacy, action-based learning, and stewardship mindset. So they should be responsible about whatever activities or whatever thoughts they come up with, or whatever actions that they do for the care or for the planet that they wanted to do. So it's like they should take the ownership through their mindset. So this is basically the key to shaping the green leaders of tomorrow. This is how actually the schools or organizations like us, the parents, teachers, in fact teachers and the school is the first place where they get to see the outer world and they get to know a lot of things. It's like a temple, or it's a very spiritual space for them to get to open their third eye and get to see a lot of things. Other than that, should take that responsibility of imparting this kind of actions, behavior towards the green amongst the kids. This is how the green leaders tomorrow's green leaders are actually shaped up today. And as a part of this program, once the school basically have to come up with ideas, and 5 ideas it have to present in the form of a PPT. More details will be given by Ms. Zoya Khan. So she is the project coordinator from United Way of Delhi. But I'll just give you a glimpse to make you understand about the program. So the school have to come up with 5 ideas on the theme that we had given, Energize with Care and Protect What's Rare. And the teachers, the team should consist of 3 students and 1 teacher from the standards 8th to 9th, the 7th to 9th. So as a part of it, once the students present their presentation, the top 3 winners there will be a jury, and there will be a internal jury, and finally top 3 winning schools will be selected. For the top 3 schools, 3 lakhs of grant will be given towards implementation of green ideas, along with the trophy and the certification. This particular 3 schools will be coming to the Green Building Congress, which is this year being held in Mumbai on 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. On 26th is the jury for these 3 schools, where the accommodation, food, everything will be provided by us, and the school have to present their ideas that they had come up with along with the teacher in front of the jurors. And the next 5 schools will be given 2.25 lakhs, where these grants should be used for the implementation of green ideas, and certificates also will be given. So apart from that, all the participating schools will definitely get the certification of participation for the program. So coming to the topic, to the first webinar topic, climate responsive schools. So I, as an architect and a landscape architect, I would like to today speak about certain actions, certain implementations that existing schools can actually practice in terms of creating climate responsive schools. Even if it is at a small school, this can impart learning, not just the practical implementation on this in the school, but it can also impart the learning to the kids how certain passive design measures for energy efficiency and biodiversity can actually change something in their school, like temperature, a comfortable indoor or outdoor environment. How these implementations can actually help them to think about a greener today, tomorrow, and forever future. So this is the climate responsive schools. So using passive design for energy efficiency and biodiversity. So a journey into how school buildings can work with nature to save energy, improve learning, and protect our planet. So first of all, what is passive design? So here I know there's no much of an architect crowd, but there are brilliant teachers, brilliant educationalists and academicians who might be already having an idea of what is passive design, and few of the students also might be participating as a part of this webinar. So I would like to get in detail what is passive design. So passive design works with nature instead of against it. So it is nothing but welcoming the nature into our spaces and regulating the nature in such a way that we are going to feel comfortable inside, but not at the same time we are not, heating up the planet by external implementations. So here it plays with rainwater collection using the summer sun and winter sun, natural ventilation, cross ventilation, and biomass heating, thermal mass, and there's some implementations like insulation, like in terms of acoustical insulation and also thermal insulation. So we'll get into all these topics, how various materials can be used, certain elements can be added to the building, how they can actually change the building's living conditions for a human to survive in, and also how to welcome play with the nature in such a way that your building is going to breathe in and breathe out. So we'll just get in detail. So these strategies use natural elements like, as I have already told, like sunlight, wind, and shade to reduce energy usage, to create comfortable spaces within and also outside the building, and lower carbon emissions. So a building should be, these days that there are a lot of carbon emissions in terms of vehicular movement, industrialization, and various transit modes, and actually it's creating a lot of carbon emissions, right? At least the building at a building stage, when a passive design is imparted and implemented, there can be a lower in there can be considerably the implementations can considerably lower the carbon emissions, and in turn it actually supports the biodiversity as well. We'll look into all these aspects in detail. So one of the best thing of this passive design is once the passive design is built or it's implemented, they keep working without needing electricity. So it's like for future. And coming to the passive design benefits, if you just see, it reduces energy. By passive design, reduces the consumption of energy in comfortable spaces. Like, passive design creates spaces that are comfortable, lower emissions, and it also lowers the emissions by passive design lowers carbon emissions into the atmosphere, and it supports biodiversity. As we had already discussed, it allows the flora and fauna flourish in that area where the passive design implementations are created, and let the sunshine in daylighting. So here we'll see how daylighting plays a major role in creating, in saving energy and creating lively spaces. So coming to the building orientation, first aspect is building orientation. So when a building is oriented in such a way that it is absorbing the maximum light, even the indirect light from the northern side, it can definitely impart that, it welcomes the sunlight, it reduces the pressure on the electrical systems, not artificial lighting, and there the electricity is used less. So schools are positioned to maximize sun exposure during winter months. South facing buildings in the northern hemisphere area. So again, India has various climatic zones, and every climatic zone is unique and beautiful in its own way. in terms of the weather, climatic condition, in terms of the thermal conditions, the tropical conditions, everything. And even in terms of availability of sunlight also. It has its extremes, it has its opportunities. So in the northern hemisphere, the buildings have to be positioned majorly on the south facing, which captures more sunlight throughout the day, and it also retains some heat. And strategic windows. The placement of the windows has to be placed in such a way that the strategical thought has to be given. So large facing windows towards the northern hemisphere with the proper shading capture winter sun while blocking the intense summer heat, creating natural temperature regulation within the building. So when it comes to the tropical climatic condition, it is the northern, in fact, it's the northern and eastern windows has to be more open so that it allows less sunlight but more cooler air and indirect sunlight. So it varies from climate to climate. So the strategical window placement happens in almost all the climatic zones, but as per the climatic zone that a building belongs to or it is sited, it has to be placed accordingly. And coming to the thermal mass, materials like brick, stone, concrete absorb heat during the day and releases it slowly at night, maintaining comfortable temperatures without mechanical heating again. So mechanic in certain northern climatic zones, it's majorly the mechanical heating systems are used in certain cases like heaters and all, or in the extreme winters, most of these areas use mechanical heating. So in such cases, certain materials like natural materials like brick, stone, and certain types of concrete can definitely help to regulate this and help you to create the thermal mass. In brighter classrooms, brighter minds, learning benefits, and it also boosts the mood to the students. And coming to the shade and external shading devices, so coming to the horizontal lowers, this is one of the easiest way how to block the summer sun, and it also allows the winter sun to enter perfectly, balancing seasonal heating and also cooling needs. And deciduous trees. So deciduous trees play a major role in providing shade in summer when leaves are present, and it allows sunlight through in winter where the leaves have fallen. And coming to the vertical fence, this is another external shading device, and it's a very brilliant idea, in fact, where it's a very brilliant implementation, in fact, which controls low angle mornings and afternoon sun, and particularly effective for east and west facing windows where sun angles are challenging. So natural air conditioning methods have to be implemented. So in that, trees and plants play a major role, allowing winter warmth, and awnings and overhangs in the. So you can see in in this particular building, you can see the overhangs that are coming out of the building, and this is kind of creating a shade. It's creating the shade to the people who are walking in that pathway, right? So awnings and overhangs provide shade to the windows during hot winds. It's not only shade to the pathway, but also shade to the windows in the uh, in the summer months. So apart from that, orientation of the window plays a major role, and which has to be done understanding the sun movement, actually the sun's reaction towards the earth movement. In fact, properly oriented windows protect overheating in classrooms. So the ultimate idea is a well-designed shading can reduce cooling energy by 11 to 14% while creating comfortable outdoor learning spaces. So the idea of shading angle of approximately 60 degrees blocks the summer sun while admitting the winter warmth. So a summer sun has to be blocked, but at the same time, the sun's winter warmth has to be welcomed inside. So for that, the external shade and external shading devices actually helps in such a way that you can regulate your temperature or the building's temperature by just operating them accordingly as per the climatic conditions and the weather needs. Apart from that, the natural ventilation, let the air flow. we have to let the air flow to make sure that the indoor air pollutants has to be released outside along with the temperature that got or the gases that got accumulated within a building. So whenever we open the windows in the morning or in the late evening, there will be a cool breeze, usually just flows, washes away the indoor complete atmosphere, which is standard for a longer time, which has more carbon dioxide. So when it actually flushes the indoor air pollutants outside, there will be a lot of refreshment in the building that even anyone can actually experience. That not only allows light but also cools the indoor environment in certain buildings. So coming to the cross ventilation strategies, to attain this natural ventilation, cross ventilation strategies are very important. And how to come up with those cross ventilation strategies? So window placement, as I told, that will plays a major role. Windows on opposite side promote airflow, in fact, in a room. And night purging, that is nothing but cool evening air reduces the heat buildup. So in the evening, usually the air is much cooler, and the windows or this openings has to be kept open so that again there will be a change in the internal temperature. And central atrium. So in most of these malls or any of these commercial buildings, if you just see, even in schools for that sake, there will be central atriums. The main idea of atrium is not just to create a double height in a building, but it also releases the hot air upward. It diffuses the hot air upward, whereas it infuses the cool air during the morning or during this air circulation. So this air circulation is very important, not only vertically but also horizontally. And also, even if not central atriums, in certain cases, even the courtyards, central courtyards of the traditional pattern of building houses, if you just see in India, it also plays a major role in diffusion of the accumulant air that creates a cooler and a much fresher environment within that area. And prevailing winds. So using prevailing winds by understanding the wind movement, and based on that wind movement, when you make sure that the elements of the wind or the flow of the wind is actually coming through the building, it is very easy when you impart window placement and central atriums in such a way that the prevailing winds are another added advantage, that it actually cleanses up the indoor environmental area. So using winds to lower the needs for cooling. And air quality also plays a major role. So for the natural ventilation, as I told you, the pollutants in the indoor area has to be flushed out, so it improves the air quality also. And traditional towers, so towers capturing and direct breezes inside. So when there are certain towers, for that sake, if you just see, these are also called as wind catchers in certain buildings. In the modern era, it's called wind catchers. So understanding the prevail wind movement, there will be inlet and outlet. Based on that, the wind catcher is kept in such a way that it enters the building, cools the area, and diffuses the air from outside. So if you just see, the blue part is the fresh air to which goes inside the building area. Inside the building area, it cools up the area and gets diffused, heated up, and this entire hot air is actually blown outside. So, water management as a part of passive design plays a major role in creating water savings, water conservation, and create using usage of artificial water. And as every drop matters, every drop counts. And recently, we have seen the example of Bangalore, how the city had completely gone. With very few drops, and every drop mattered at that time to all the residents. In fact, all the residents had to suffer a lot for certain days, because there's no proper water management strategies which were implemented ahead of this particular scenario which they had faced back then. So rainwater harvesting plays a major role. Rainwater has to be collected from the roofs and non-roof areas. From the roofs, whatever water has been collected, it should be used for toilet flushing and also for garden irrigation. And whatever water that falls onto the surface has to be infiltered, or should be allowed to soak into the ground, so that it reaches the groundwater tables and the aquifers, and that thus increasing the groundwater recharge tables. So it allow water to soak into the ground rather than causing runoff. Instead of letting the water that falls onto the rainwater that falls onto the surface, it has to be sinked in such a way that the water has to be infiltrated to the lower areas of the ground. And apart from the creating rain gardens, not only supports biodiversity, it also creates a filtered and clean water, water cleaning naturally. So this is an example in a school where the gutters are placed in such a way from the sloped roof, whatever rainwater that falls onto the gutters or onto the roof are collected through the gutters, and a channelized pipe is carefully kept in such a way that it leads to an underground tank. From there, the water is actually pure. It is as good as to be used for washing hands, legs, and face. So rainwater harvesting plays a major role. It's a very simple thing. So as you see, it can be used for the roof water can be when it is stored properly, and when a filter is impart, the filter is placed in such a way before the water gets into the tank. The filtration actually helps to clean the water, and thus the excess water can go to the ground, whereas the water at a certain level can be used for gardening, car washing, toilet flushing, and also for washing your clothes. And now let us look at the design features and material choices. Certain materials really play a major role in creating insulation, in creating a huge difference in the passive design. So one such material is hemp insulation, which is very natural in northern hemispherical countries and western countries. It's a natural material that regulates the humidity and improves air quality. It purifies the air, and it also makes sure that the humidity is actually absorbed, and it reclaimed materials. Reusing old materials reduces waste and adds character. And it not only it might seems like a waste material at first, but when it is properly manufactured, properly cleaned, and turned into another product like Shera plank, it can be more beautiful than the actual product. And in fact, it reduces the burden onto the landfills. And other agricultural waste like straw bale walls, some agricultural waste which can be converted into a straw bale walls, where it's an excellent insulation. It is also carbon negative, and it is also made from the agricultural waste. So it's like again the dump yard, from the dump yards, it is being diverted to an industry where the walls are being created. In fact, in the office where we are sitting right now, all the tables that we are actually using now are the byproduct from the sugarcane industry, where the baggage wood is created and it has been compressed and pressed in such a way that it has turned into a hardwood, and from that wood sheets actually the tables are being made. So anything is possible when we think that waste can be converted and it can be used in many purposes than what even that we can imagine. So unveiling the benefits of building insulation, if we just see. Um, Building insulation, optimal window to wall ratio. It balances the natural light with thermal performance, avoiding 30 to 50% of heat loss or gain in a building or in a room. And heat loss reduction. So what happens is like when proper insulation, it through proper insulation, it can actually reduce heat loss up to 70% compared to poorly insulated buildings. And also, when a daylight utilization happens, it can operate without artificial lighting for 90% of the school hours. So usually the average school time is from 8 o'clock till 3. So if you just see, it's a daylighting time. So if we can actually take the advantage of daylighting in such a way that the classrooms are lit using the daylight but not the artificial light, 90% of the burden on the electrical systems can be reduced. And again, temperature control. It maintains consistent indoor temperature year around, and sound benefits. It reduces external noise, improving learning environment. And suppose Supporting biodiversity in school habitats is very much important by imparting certain implementations like wildlife features, ecosystem integration like green corridors and wildlife movement, and native planting by choosing the local species and which can actually support the wildlife, and also by strategic tree placement planting. So based on the shade requirement or the sun requirement, building shade has to be considered, and heat reduction can be reduced as a part of strategic tree placement. And rainwater collection, as I told you, it creates micro habitats, and also garden irrigation can be done. And water rain gardens are another site of beauty within the schools, and green roofs. So inside, when you come up with green roofs, it can become like an insect habitats and bird habitats. Apart from that, living laboratories. Schools can turn into living laboratories when such biodiversity supporting implementations can be done, like school gardens and ecosystem studies can be kept, and wildlife features like bird boxes and insect hotels. Like, these things can actually help kids to encourage themselves more, to come up with more ideas that can help the biodiversity and also the energy system. So this is just an illustration image for you to understand how kids can interact with nature more when the schools are actually built, or when they actually implement such kind of measures even after constructing the building. So these are few of the examples how certain schools had actually brought the passive designs to life. So one such example of award-winning school is Rajkumari Ratnavati Girls School in Jaisalmer. The entire design is in the form of an elliptical form, and the materials used are thick sandstone walls and lime plastering. One of the major building features here is the jali screens and the solar roof canopy that you can see in the image, and rainwater harvesting and passive cooling system. Apart from that, then we come up with the second example, Riverside School in Ahmedabad. So here, this particular school has implemented deep verandas and pergolas. Materials here are used as the local materials like the thick mud brick and stone enclosures for thermal comfort. And they came up with the spaces like courtyards and large lower A windows, what we call. And this actually facilitate the natural ventilation, daylighting, and stack cooling effect, in fact. And the third example, Sharanam Center for Rural Development in Pondicherry, Tamil Nadu. So here they had implemented the vaults, in fact, the 9-meter wide span vaults, which are self-supporting, and the earth block walls are actually 9 centimeter thick, which eliminates the need for steel and concrete. And these are called local earth vaults, and the thermal mass and orientation played a major role here by these deep vaults and courtyards can actually channel sea breezes, earth materials, and regulate. Since these are earth materials, they can regulate the temperature naturally. And sustainable credentials actually goes to it. It's been recognized among India's top green buildings by Terry and also UNEP. And one more example is very well-known SEPT University in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. The design features are deep overhangs and projecting slabs, which actually plays a lot with the sun and shadow. And vertical and horizontal fins are placed, as you can see in the building. These are the vertical, fins, and brick jali systems. Screens are installed so that through a jali, actually cooler air is actually imparted into the school. And verandas and balcony. We know that Ahmedabad is a very hot region, and if you just see here, these brick jalis actually play a major role in creating an comfortable indoor environmental quality and temperature. And terrace gardens and pergolas again to create as a shading devices, in fact. And Rishi Valley School in Chittor in Andhra Pradesh, it has planted about 180 species per bird. Sorry, it has recorded about 180 species of birds, and it has planted herbal gardens and native plant nurseries within the school. And there's soil and water conservation, which had been considered in the school. And they also implemented a butterfly and an insect diversity park within the campus. And they also encourage the students to come up with with organic farming and composting. Composting actually helps them that what I was calling about stewardship in the very first slides that we discussed. Stewardship is very much important to the students, and when they are accountable for the waste that has been generated by them and through their class and through their school, they will when they get to know about the process of various processes of composting, it actually helps them to understand how responsible they have to be. And sacred groves and seasonal ponds are created within the school. And another example is Kapun School in Vijayawada in Andhra Pradesh. And they had created an undulating turf covered roof. If you can see in the image, there's a roof which is covered with turf, and it's in the form of an undulating structure. It has sunken courtyard to create more shade, and the prefabricated metal structure. Open and fluid spatial planning, in fact, is implemented here. Daylighting and visual connectivity is there from all the nooks and corners of this particular school, where efficient structural design has been also given. In the British School in New Delhi, so north-south orientation, lightweight. So this also has played a lot with sun and shade. A shaded courtyard is there, colorful facade with the percolated jali patterns are there. So it's not just the implementation, it is also about how interestingly one can make the implementation to the kids and also to the people who are actually using the end users of that particular building or the school. And our school, our future. Climate responsive schools are just not good to look, or to just emphasize. But for the planet, they're very good, and also they're the better places to learn for the children as well. And as I told you, the enhanced learning environment can be created through these implementations of certain passive design implementations. So energy efficiency, academical performance can be improved, concentration and improvement can be improved in such natural, areas, and health benefits also can be benefited to the school students. The challenge is design your climate friendly classroom. You can come up with a challenge to the students where they can come up with, it can be a small activity where the students can come up with design your climate friendly classroom. So they will understand how sun and shade actually plays, how shadow is important, how shading is important. And apart from that, well, how can they, by doing certain, coming up with certain ideas, they will understand how it can actually reduce the burden on the energy systems that they are actually using, and how they can use the sun and also the shade. So apart from that, visual connectivity is very much important. And with this, I end the topic of today's webinar. And before I hand over the webinar to Zoya Khan, I thought I'll just give a glimpse of what our rating system is actually talking about. IGBC Green School Rating System. So it's a rating system which has been curated exclusively for the schools, where we thought about a lot of such implementations. And till now, 160 schools all over India has been certified under IGBC and had received the prestigious IGBC Green School Rating System. And so what is a green school? As you already have an idea what is a green school, I'll just go by the definition. A green school is one which addresses health and hygiene of children, conserves natural resources, uses less water, optimizes energy efficiency, and generates less waste as compared to a conventional school. So in terms of visual appearance, the conventional and the green school looks alike, but what differs here are the green implementations. And these green implementations actually create a lot of difference in terms of energy savings, water savings, and it improves the quality of life to the students by allowing daylighting and ventilation, hygiene, drinking water, healthy food, and hygiene toilets. And it also improves the building performance in terms of energy savings by 30 to 50% and water savings by 20 to 30%. And infrastructural facilities, we also look into through this rating system, we also look into the acoustic, the anthropometrical requirement like the writing desk, sitting benches, lights and fans, and also facility for physical activities. So these are few of the schools which are certified by IGBC. Like Newton School in Kolkata, Condor International School in Bangalore, Ramakrishna Mission School in Chennai, Cygnus World School Vadodara, and Modi School in Rajasthan, Saraswati Bal Mandir in Delhi. Like that, many schools are certified under IGBC Green School Rating System, like Hyderabad Public School, Apple Global School, Indus Valley School. KGBB schools also had received the awards of certified under, which are certified under IGBC. So like that, many schools had inspired the rest of the schools, and it had created a lot of difference, not just within the school, but also above the boundaries. And the rating system has been launched on 4th of September in 2014. It is applicable for both existing and new schools. So the benefits of green and healthy schools are, as I had already told you, it improves the performance of students and also the buildings. It improves the pedagogy of science and art of education and community. It creates it creates a knowledge sharing within the school, and it helps reaching out to the parents and nearby communities. And it creates, as I told you, there should be a stewardship, a responsibility for the students towards the environment. And through this rating and through this implementation that the school had welcomed, respected and welcomed and implemented, will actually create the children to learn and take responsibility for their own actions that concerns the environment. And the certification levels for the existing and new schools which are certified under IGPC Green School Rating System is of four levels. The premium the premium level is the platinum, which is considered as a global leadership, gold for national excellence, silver for outstanding performance, and certified for best practices. And the main holistic approach of sustainability that are addressed in through this rating system are site selection and planning, conserving and harvesting energy, health and well-being, indoor environmental quality, sustainable water practices, and eco-friendly school material. Actually, eco-friendly school material is a very interesting implementation that one can adapt, and also green education. So now I request Ms. Zoya. Zoya is the program coordinator of United Way of Delhi, our supporting partner along with Carrier. So she will be giving an idea on how the Green Your School program is actually positioned and how the registration can be happened. She will better guide you in a detailed way, in fact. Zoya, hello Zoya.
Yeah, hi Manisha.
Yeah,
Hi Manisha.
yeah, you can share the screen.
Okay. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining. Yeah, is my screen visible? Hi Manisha.
Yeah, yeah, it is visible, Zoya. I request all the participants to mute yourself as Zoya will be giving an idea on the ratings, the entire program.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So IGBC Green Year School Program 2025. This is our 19th year in succession for this program. So what is this program is all about? I will let you know, go through this. What is this program? How you can register? What is our eligibility criteria to measure the idea? So I will let you go through all the pointers which post that if you guys have any question, would you like to know something related to program, we me and Manisha are happy to assist you.
Yeah.
So IGBC Green Year School program is an annual program which is open across all the schools in India. Through this program we encourage schools to come up with sustainable ideas to transform their existing campus into the green campus. So through this program, we expect like every school to form a team of three student and one teacher from standard seven to 6 to 8, I guess. Is it correct, Manisha?
It's from 7th to 9th.
7 to 9. Okay, sorry.
Yes, yes.
So 7 to 9 to form a team of three student and one teacher, and they brainstorm and develop the green ideas which they can practically implement in their school, and post that they submit those ideas over our website. So we have the program objective is to instill eco-sensitivity behavior in the daily lifestyle of children, to enable students to spread awareness about environment education among their peer group and the community. We want to enable new and existing schools to incorporate and monitor environment friendly concept that would result in reducing the carbon footprint. We also want to launch as many sustainable school building as possible through this program. So our vision is to enable majority of schools in India to convert into the green school. As I said earlier, and Manisha also told you that this is the 19th year in succession, which is this program is supported by Career India with the Association of United Way Delhi. This is applicable for all the school across India. You need to form the team again from 7th to 9th standard student, 3 student and 1 teacher from each school. And only one team can participate in from one school. This is our website where you can register. You can just type over the Google greenyourschool.in and then you will have the this homepage as a screen overview. So what is our methodology? Like we circulate, as Manisha told, we launched our program on 5th of June on the Environment Day. The circular was disseminated over the website, over social media that the registrations are open. To register, you need to go to our website, Green Your School, and then you will have to fill out the details given in the form, like your school name, teacher's name, your phone number, email ID, and through that, all those information you register over our website. Once you register, you start developing the ideas with the help of teachers and school, and then you have to upload that presentation on our website. Then we start shortlisting the entries. We shortlist the entries based on the idea submitted by the school. If you are not submitting any idea, then your school will disqualify automatically because you have not submitted the idea. Once you submit the ideas, we provide the template of how to develop the ideas over the email once you registered with us. So automated email went to the email ID you are registering with, and then you have to develop the ideas in our template, and you have to submit those ideas. After that, we start evaluating based on the following criteria, which we I will show you later in the PPT. We evaluate, and then in the pre-jury and jury, we decide the top 8 school, and the communication went to schools and also to our website. We disseminate like who is the winner for top 8 school. Also, we invite top 3 schools to our Green Congress for the award ceremony. This is our evaluation criteria. Based on the idea you are proposing, practicality in implementation, we give 20 marks. How much innovative is your idea? We give 10 marks. How this idea will benefit your school and society? We give 5 marks. And for education and awareness, we give 5 marks. Awards are for top 3 school. We will give grant of 3 lakh each and the trophy. And we will also invite those students and teachers to our award ceremony. And to the top 5 school, we give the grant of 2.25 lakh and certificate will also be given to all the participants over the email. So these amount which you receive, this grant amount you receive, you have after that you have whole 1 year to implement the idea in your school. These are some of the ideas which was implemented by the school's last winners. These are some of the recommendation with through how you can make your existing school greener. Like you can propose some idea on energy efficiency, water conservation, waste reduction, green landscaping, sustainable transportation, and curriculum integration. And also the ideas are given by Manisha or proposed by Manisha that also you can include in your presentations. So if you guys have any question or would like to know more about the program, we are happy to assist
We
you
have a question and answer session at the end. We can,
at the end. Okay.
yes, yes, we can let the speakers, sorry, the participants come up with questions by then. Now we have Ms. Meena Rawat. She is a trained graduate teacher, and she had guided the students of Nalanda Public School who had actually won the IGBC Green Your School program in 2024. So now I welcome Meena Rawat and I'll ask her to, like, ma'am, can you please share your screen so that you can start the presentation. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Manisha. Yes, you are audible.
Yes, yes, I'm Miss Meena. Miss Meena? Hello, Miss Meena? Yes, please. Yes. Meena, there's some issue. Can you please rejoin again? Because I don't have the option for muting or unmuting. Can you please rejoin? Let us wait for a minute. Yeah, Miss Meena.
I think there is some network issue at her end.
Okay.
If you can just call her and just check once.
Yes, yes, I'm actually trying to call her.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Meena, we can hear you. Yes, Meena.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, 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 yes. There might be some
Okay.
technical glitch. That's
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Now, am I visible
Please.
too?
Yes, yes, you are visible, Meena. Can you please
Okay.
share the screen? There's an
Yeah,
option
sure.
at the right top, and you can select the presentation that you wanted to present.
By PowerPoint. How do I share the screen? I'm clicking on share, then share content. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you can go to share and then share content,
Share
and then
content
yeah, and then your presentation. You have to select the presentation that you want to present.
on screen, window or tab?
Window,
Window. Okay.
window,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you select the presentation that you wanted to
Yes. Is
present.
it visible now?
Yes, it is visible. Just a minute, it's
Okay.
just loading.
Okay. So I would start by wishing you all good afternoon. And let me begin without wasting time because I have a lot of precious time. Okay, so good afternoon again. Prakriti rakshati rakshitah. That simply means nature protects those who protect it. Or
Meena ji, I
yes,
just wanted to add one point. I'm so sorry.
yeah,
Can
sure,
you
sure.
please keep the presentation on presentation mode so that the entire screen will be visible?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay now? Is it okay
Uh,
now?
Presentation mode. I think it's taking a minute.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know.
Sure.
Is it visible now?
No, it is visible, but not in the presentation mode. It's in the PPT form mode only.
Okay. How do I do that?
Uh, there's there's a zoom button here, right? Zoom in and zoom out. That's where there's presentation mode. If you can just
Yeah, I have
towards.
done that. The whole screen, right? I'm sharing it that way now.
Okay, okay, please continue.
Okay. So let's begin. And I was just saying that we believe in Prakriti or nature protects people who will protect it, right? And in the recent time, we are witnessing so many of the events, and we have to understand that, yes, that is what we have to live by. And in Nalanda Public School, we have wholeheartedly embraced this vision. We are lucky to have our management, our principal, and the whole team who leads by doing the thing practical. They walk the walk, right? So let me start with the presentation straight away. On your screen, what you will be seeing now is the picture of our school. It is our school in Mumbai. And you can see the space is a luxury. The ground that you actually see is shared with the municipal corporation. Okay, so it's not our land, but it is what we share with municipality. Okay, is my screen visible, Monisha Miss?
Yes, yes, it is screen. The
Okay,
screen is
so I'll
visible
go
now.
ahead.
Yes.
So we start with, I'm not going to go into the majors because this is what it is. And our school is also a no plastic, no tobacco zone. So it contributes to the sustainability and the health and well-being of the people. This is our theme. These are certain of the existing features that we are already doing in our school. One is the milk packet
Ma'am,
recycling.
in case if you are sharing the screen, if you are changing the slides, we are not able to do. Why don't we do this thing? I'll share the screen instead of you. Can you please stop the sharing?
Sure, sure. No
Yes,
problem.
yes, yes.
Yes, let's do that.
Is the screen visible, Zoya and Meena?
Yes, it is.
Yes, yes.
Yes, very much. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you. So
Just
you can
guide
go
me
to,
when to change the slide. I'll
yeah,
be
sure, sure, sure. I'll be
yes,
very brief. I can see we are running out of time. So
yes,
you can
please.
go to the next one, next one, next one. Yeah. So this is the one which is already in place. It is about milk packet recycling. A lot of schools do it. We have an agency in which we are in touch, and we provide this waste packet to them, and they will responsibly dispose them or take it for recycling. Next one, please. This is another existing feature. It's a terrace garden. Again, it is an eco-friendly gardening method, and we take initiative in our terrace gardening. And that is the way our children learn about various plants, and it's a place for the butterflies and various biodiversity conservation too. Next one, please. This one is again rainwater harvesting pit that we have in place. The system is there. We have to see how efficient it is. And this is working right now. So we know how important it is to manage our water. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Go on the next one. This one is waste segregation. We can see that there's a wet waste, there's a dry waste. We are also the center for collecting e-waste. And in our school, we use the newspaper in a multi-purpose ways. And all our folders and everything that exchange hand with the parent, it's all in the paper envelope that is made by using the old newspaper. Next one, please. This is the picture of our existing green feature. That is a compost pit. We are working on it. It's a hit and miss and fail, and sometimes it works. So we are still trying to perfect that. Yes, please. This is another one. This is our terrace, and you can see we have installed solar panels. So this is very important in terms of it significantly cuts our electric bill. And also we can, whatever surplus we have, we can send it back to the grid, and are one of the small initiative in the way to take care of our environment and taking use or promoting the energy interdependence. Now, this one are some of the ideas that we had proposed last year. Last year, this was the first idea, that is regulated flushing. Very simple of the thing, but not many of us keep track of that or are not aware of it. So we have decided to install these regulated flushing. The cistern will be regulated because with every flush, 9 to 11 liters of water goes every single flush. So if we install that, the amount reduces down to 5 liters. Yep. The next one is clay refrigerator. It is a lot of brainstorming was done with the student, and this was one of the ideas which the student came up with. And we decided to install one of the clay refrigerator in our canteen. We are already in process with this, and we have already sent the mail and everything. So we are seeing where we stand in terms of this Mitti Cool, this website from where we are trying to procure it. They take certain amount of time because they order make it and the things like that. It's in process. Yes, next one, please. This is solar waste digester. It is simply be very helpful in terms of reducing the amount of time to decompose the waste. If we can do that, decomposing the waste is one of the biggest problem that we face in and around in our society, in our homes, in school, or take any of the establishments. So if we are able to manage to get it and install it, it's going to solve a big problem for the kitchen and everything. Yeah. Next one is our proposed idea is vertical garden. Another one, simple one, but as I told you, we are in Mumbai. We do not have much of the green spaces around. So this is something if we are able to implement successfully, it is going to transform our empty spaces into very aesthetically pleasing spaces. Also, it's going to improve the air quality. It's going to regulate temperature. It will support biodiversity. It's going to manage our water runoff. And it will be a kind of hands-on learning experiences for.
Yeah, Miss Meena.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah. So this is the compost bin. We have one small one. We are trying to make an additional one, which will be more foolproof. And again, it is the waste wet from the school will be accumulated in it, and which into the compost, which can in turn be used for our terrace garden. So it's next one, please. This one is vertical composter cum herb farming platform. And this, as the picture is giving you the idea that we are doing our composting as well as we are growing some amount of herbs or some amount of useful material on the side. So it also takes care of problem and it in turns provides us with the solution. So the herbs will also contribute to the health and well-being. Next one is natural mosquito collecting waste bin. So you have seen the tablet. Our area being near to one of the landfills, very much needed also. So these tablets that we tried to find out, it shows that it is an eco-friendly and cost-effective way. So this is also something that we are working on. Next one, please. This is sanitary napkin incinerator. It's a very cumbersome machine. We are planning about it, or moreover, there's a still debate going on how well we can use it, or so there's a lot of debate. But the whole idea behind proposing this was that we will be able to, dispose of the sanitary napkins, which are one of the biggest pollutants in the landfills or in the dumping ground. Nobody knows how to take care of it. So it's a big problem. Yeah, next one, please. This is another one which says the natural air freshener and natural floor cleaner. This is one which we are driving in a full way because we feel that if we can create the atmosphere which is chemical free, eco-friendly, and it will neutralize the smell. So these were the certain ideas in our mind when we thought of not relying on the synthetic chemicals or the artificial fragrances, but moving towards in tune with the nature. And this is very much workable. So we have already started with our workshops and seminars on this. So let's see how well it comes along. And this is one of the last of the idea. It is app for pre-loved material. wherein we in India, there's a lot of taboo associated around with using the material which is already being utilized by somebody. But we can make it a culture wherein we can start using the pre-loved material or something that has been utilized by somebody. But in general terms, we attach the word like second hand or hands down, but we can simply call it pre-loved, and I'm sure there will be a lot of takers for it. It will be cost-free accessibility. It is a circular example of a circular economy promotion, and it also helps the community in a big way in reducing the waste. So that, I think that's the last slide. Yeah, so this was just our proposal, budget proposal, and then I will go on to thanking everyone, thanking CII, thanking IGBC, thanking Carrier, thanking United Way of Delhi for providing this platform to the pan-India schools, wherein we can, express ourselves, wherein we can ask our children to look in the positive side. And I simply love the topic that you have taken for this year, Energize with Care, Protect What's Rare. I am simply delighted with this topic. It is, it just makes all of us want to be part of the change that India is going to be in the future. Although we are already on the path, it has to be, propelled in a way that India makes a big difference. And thank you again, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ms. Meena. In fact, your presentation had given a guidance to most of the schools who are actually participating in this particular webinar. And soon we'll be posting the YouTube video also of this webinar, and this can inspire, your presentation can definitely inspire the rest of the schools as well. And in fact, your school being one of the top 3 schools, you came up with many brilliant ideas which are completely new, and you already have certain green implementations in place at Nalanda Public School. And I hope more schools will actually adapt these green practices, and definitely, ultimately, it's going to be a learning experience not only to the students but also the people who had implemented it. Through there will be into observation how these implementations are actually working, and it's a kind of, it is benefiting the student, the school at a greater level. And thank you for giving your time today for your for this webinar, and giving an idea on how how the schools can actually come up with a very nice presentation of how to work, come up with ideas and all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving this delightful opportunity. Thank you, Monisha. Thank you, Zoya. And thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. So now the webinar is open for the question and answers. So here on the screen, I'm just posting a slide on how you can register to the program, and it's a glimpse of what we had already spoken, what Zoya had actually clearly and very nicely she had explained about how the program has to be registered, and how the grants actually work and all. And we have a QR code. The registration for this program is completely free. As Zoya had already mentioned, the registration deadline is 1st of September, and the project submission is on 1st of October of this year. So I'm just posting it on the last slide. I'm just keeping the presentation, the screen open. Meanwhile, the participants, whoever having questions, they can definitely ask us. And those who want to scan this QR code and register themselves for the program can use this QR code for the registration. If you're having any doubts, and in case there's any audio issues, you can type it in the chat box as well.
Yeah, this is Samrain from Focus High School. I wanted to know that we are going to first send the slide, or we have to first make our school turn the school into green.
It's first you have to show us the ideas by submitting us the presentation. Once we select that, and then you can select the school, like in case if the school gets selected by the jury, then you can come up with the implementations. It's the presentation which you have to submit first. Any more questions? I request everyone to mute and unmute only those who want to ask the questions, please. So I hope there are no more questions. I think in case if you have any questions, you can write to us. So you can write to us. You can write to either me or Zoya. We are very much happy to help you in terms of in case if you're having any issues with the registration or any doubts that you're getting in terms of the in terms of submitting the presentation. We'll definitely guide you and. We all want most of all the schools to actually participate in this particular program, and this is really going to be a very great learning experience to every student and also to the teachers. And this webinar series will definitely help everyone to to learn a lot of things. So every webinar we are coming up with newer topics, and in the next webinar we're going to talk about tiny forests and wild corners. It is about bringing nature back to the school. It's a very interesting topic. You can actually ask your students also to be part of this webinar. And this is going to be on 28th of July. So for every fortnight, we have webinars. So the next webinar is going to be on 28th. So I request everyone to be part, to be a part of this. So any doubts if you get, you can definitely ask us. So we have one question from Swati Tomar. Zoya, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, yes.
Mute yourself. Can you mute yourself? Yeah, eligibility is 7th to 9th standard students plus three students plus one teacher, five ideas by school. Yes, Swati. It's from 7th. The eligibility is open for standards of 7th to 9th. And three students and one teacher, one or one mentor should be part of the team from only one team from each school. And you have to come up with five ideas. Those schools which are registering, Zoya will be sending template, how the presentation has to be made and all. She'll be sending you like a PPT template, and you can use the template and be a part of it. You can submit the presentation. Uh, what is the last date for submission? It's on 1st October. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope we'll be seeing you in the next webinar on 28th of July. And thank you, Zoya. Thank you, Ms. Meena,
Thank you.
for accepting
Thank
our
you, Manisha.
invitation. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Have a
everyone.
great day,
Please do
everyone.
register for this program.
Yes.